Here I am again. Hello. I decided today I'm going to tell you a little story about when I had a paper route and Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers tried to run over me with their stolen car. First of all, I'd like to make it clear that John Anglin does not know how to drive. And it's obvious when you see him in a car. Well, he probably doesn't have a license, probably never had one. And the cars they drove were always stolen. But anyway, he was showing off for his girlfriend Frank Morris, to make her feel good about him. What happened was they came to me about this paper route, the guy who ran it, and because he had seen me riding my bike around the neighborhood, and I was really good with the bike. I could outrun anybody. I could outrun most cars not because I could drive faster in the car, but because it was a housing complex. They could only get up so much speed, and then they'd have to slow down for the next stop sign or cars or kids or whatever. But I could always outrun them. I could outrun dogs, and there was only one dog in the neighborhood that wouldn't back down from me. I had to hit him with the tire on my bike a few times, and I got pretty good at that. I started practicing it. And then later on, I ended up hitting Frank Morris in the arm with it. He complained about that in Mexico City, but we'll get to that later. For right now, I want to tell you that the guy came to me about the paper route and said, actually I had a friend who had it and he didn't want to do it anymore, and he didn't tell me why. And I went to this guy and told him, yeah, he came to me. He said, you really know what you're doing on that bicycle. And I go, yeah, I love to ride. And he goes, how would you like a paper route? You'll make, I don't know what it was. It was, a few dollars a week. I think it was $3 or $4, and he told me he would give me $7. He raised it up because he knew I could ride. And, I did the route a couple of days, and it was kind of fun, but it took up a little bit of time because this was let me first say that it was in Buffalo Estates, which is still there in Tampa, Florida, on MLK Boulevard, which used to be Buffalo Avenue, and it's near 301, Highway 301, between 301 and Orient Road. And across the street from it is King's Forest. I believe that one still has the same name. I know Buffalo Estates does, at least did last time I was home, because I went and looked around there, actually did a couple of videos for you. Now, I'm doing the route, and I'm driving through King's Forest because it included both housing complexes, and all of a sudden I see this car coming out of this road, kind of like in front of me, and they're stopping and starting and looking and talking to each other in the car. I'm like, something's up here. And sure enough, when I got up there, they came out and tried to run over me. Of course, I was so maneuverable and so fast, I made a quick turn and got up on the sidewalk and drove around them and cussed them out. And I don't know, I think they followed me around, but they just couldn't get another shot at me. I don't remember. I remember ignoring them because I didn't really see a car tracking me, but they probably stayed back a little bit. So sometime after that, I don't know if it was the same day or whatever, I went back to that same corner, and I was thinking, because there was a culvert in front of me, but I turned. Luckily, when they went to pull out, I wasn't going that fast, and I could easily turn, go into a driveway, get up on the sidewalk, and go on down the road. But I was thinking, if they'd have come out really fast, I wouldn't have had time to get out of the way. So what could I do in case it happens again? And I didn't know it was these guys, but now I'm remembering I could see that long jaw of John Anglin's turning and looking at me through the window, and Frank over there telling him what to do, and Clarence in the back seat. Anyway, this culvert had a little cement thing that you could go up on the curve. It was a nice smooth curve, and then you had this little area not too long where you had about this much, maybe even less. It might have only been 6 or 8 inches of concrete that I could ride on, get up on the culvert and keep going, and come off the other side onto the road. And I kind of planned in my head that these guys are going to try something, or if someone, I'd spent my life, what if, like, as I told you, Frank choreographed murders. Well, I choreographed my escapes, I guess you could say. And I did my route and everything, and then come back over there in that same area, and I'm going pretty fast this time, because I had practiced that riding up on that little narrow area of concrete, and I really got good at it. And here they come, and I'm going okay. So when they pulled out there, I put on an act like I was going to fall down, and I could see Frank tell John, "Oh, yeah, he's going to fall. Just wait till he falls, and then we'll run over him or something." But anyway, I speeded up. I hit that little spot in there. I got across the culvert and across the street. They had meanwhile made the turn, went down the street beside me, and went to turn left, like to cut me off because I was going like this. And I go, here they come, and that's what they did. They kind of stopped at the intersection, so I pulled over to the other side of the road where there's another culvert, which I had also planned. And I'm sitting there with my bike, and I had practiced because I could stand up on the ground with my and be, how do I tell you this, straddle my bike, and I wouldn't be on touching the seat. I was tall enough. It was a small bike, but man, it was fast. I wish they'd make one like that again. I'd buy one. And I would pull I jumped the culvert, went on the other side of the road, and they came around, and I pulled over like this and stopped, and I had planned on doing this. I acted like, I'm going to have a heart attack or something. I'm going to fall down. I started acting all wobbly and everything, and I could see Frank tell him, "Look, he's getting tired. Get him." And I don't know what John said to Frank, but Frank said, "Run over him." He said, like, "I don't give a damn. Run over him." And he hit the gas, and when he did, I pulled the bike up, spun it around, took off the other way, and they smashed into that culvert and went up onto the top of it, messed up their tires, and hubcaps went everywhere. And I laughed, and I took the bike down because I was finished with the route, and I was going back to Buffalo Estates. I made a loop, and I came back, and I gave them the finger and told them to F off. And I rode the bike home. That's it for today. Thank you.